Welcome to the new video for the year. That might not be a joke. Now, judging by the title, I know how this might look. I am probably the last person who should be giving out relationship advice, but here I am, because I have a camera that works. So as the post-relationship asshole, as it says right here on my handy-dandy board, I'm here to give you some very unoriginal and uninspired advice. But sometimes the obvious can often be overlooked. But in my case, you might just be an idiot. Maybe. You can learn something from this video and also my long list of mistakes that I did and didn't do. Expressing yourself. You should be letting him or her know how you feel as much as you can. Though I might suggest that it can't always be verbally.
I love you, bitch. Oh my God. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Now, with that said, I know that there are probably some people or everybody or nobody who gets tired of hearing somebody tell them how much they like them and or care about them. When you can, let them know that they're looking good. Let them know that they're looking fine. Let them know that you'll still like them. Sometimes, though, you gotta add a little bit of flair. It's about going that extra mile for whomsoever that you're dating right now and showing them that you care. Buy some flowers, write some letters, help them out with their chores and or errands, make a mixtape, make a scrapbook. Regardless of how much time or money you spend, the fact that you did it will mean the world to them. You put in the time, you put in the effort to do whatever it is that you did. Above all, it lets them know that you care about them and that they're important to you. And that doesn't hurt at all. Number 2, communication. With communication, this is going to be pretty quick. You got to use your voice to voice your thoughts about whatever it is you might be thinking or feeling at the moment. Don't just hold in whatever it is you're sitting on. Say it. Don't be afraid about that. If you take issue with something or you have something important to say it. And hopefully, if they're not stupid, whoever it is you're dealing with, they will listen to whatever it is you have to say. I mean, they should respect what you have to say anyways, but I'm just saying, if they're an idiot... Oh, and real quick, number 2 on this sub list, when that hotline bling, we all pretty much have our phones on us like 24/7. It does not take more than like 12.4 seconds to send back a text that says, "Sorry, busy. We'll call you back." Send. Don't sit on it. Don't let it sit there. Just send the text. Or if you're driving, I don't know, use that speech text. Communication is key. Use your words. Side note, calling is always the better option. Don't let anybody ever tell you any different. That's just a personal opinion of mine, but who cares? Ah, that hurt. Number 3, if I'm still numbering this, comfortability. And then really the only thing I got for it is what you see here. Don't get comfortable. I know that sounds a little weird, but hear me out on this one. Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most important pieces of advice I got going on here. And there's not a whole lot. Comfortability leads to complacency. And when you start to fall into a routine of things, it gets a little bit hard to break free of that. You're thinking that things are going great. Things probably can't get any better. I love the way things are going right now. And this is a little bit bad. The problem is not you guys hanging out all the time. That part's great and fantastic and whatnot. I think it just might get a little bit boring if you start doing the same things over and over again. Granted, I don't know what it's like on your end, but from what I have experienced, I could probably say that without a doubt, if you start doing the same thing over and over again, it'll get a little bit boring and leaving somebody wanting to do something else for once in a while. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. Do something new. Do something that you don't usually do. Like if you guys always eat after the last person to clock out, maybe instead of that, you can surprise one another at each other's work when they're on their break or lunch or whatever it may be, to switch it up a little bit. Plus they get to go back to work a little bit happier because they saw you. If you guys routinely eat out at the same places, maybe instead of going to eat out and spend a little money there, maybe buy some things to bring back home and then you make dinner and you probably learn a new skill along the way as well. Side note, that's actually how I learned how to make sushi. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get hired by an upscale restaurant in New York anytime soon, but I think it turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. If you guys are always getting it on, maybe practice abstinence and pledge your allegiance to Christ and become born-again Christians. That'll surely mix things up a little bit. If you always nap together, because let's face it, naps are awesome, maybe don't change that. Not everything has to change. You know, some things are, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Oh, and one more thing. Just because you're all together, it doesn't hurt if you act the same way that you did when you just met. Sure, things are a little bit different now, like you're probably farting in each other's presence, but I would definitely suggest that if you start out as Carl and Ellie from Up, you best end up like Carl and Ellie from Up when they're old, and then one of you sees your partner die, and then the other one has to slip into a phase of depression, and then go on to have an adventure with an absent father having a child and a talking dog. You wouldn't want that to happen now, would you? Woo, woo, woo. PDA. Get it, boy. Boy. Naturally, when you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, there is the added bonus of that you get to touch each other. Quite the concept. Took me a while to figure that out. Now, when I say PDA, I don't necessarily mean that people want to see you fucking in the middle of the mall at 12:30 in the afternoon. If kissing or something a little bit more extra sounds a little bit gross to you, you better shake that feeling off, because that is one of the benefits of a relationship, dummy. Get it. Alright? Wouldn't kill you to show a little affection. Wouldn't kill you to grab his or her ass in public. Plus, you might even get some girl or guy thinking,
wow, she is so lucky to have a man who isn't afraid to show a little bit of affection every now and then. Charlie.
PDA is one of the best benefits of a relationship. So, again, get it, boy. Next up, don't be cheap. Alright? Cover that check every now and then. Now, this doesn't mean that I expect you to cash out at the Gucci store or buy the biggest rock you see at a Kmart. What I mean is that if you ask your significant other out, say maybe to the movies or to a dinner, cover that check. It was your idea in the first place, after all. Or if you want, you could split the costs for whatever it is you're doing to go out. Say, for example, you want to go to the movies, you buy the tickets, she buys the food to sneak in. She wants to go out to dinner, she buys the dinner, you cover the tip. Make sense? Having said that, I kind of do expect you to cash out when it comes to some special occasions. Say a birthday, an anniversary, or maybe you just feel like splurging a little bit because they are the best. You see some earrings for an anniversary that you think she would like, pop them bands. You see a dress or a pair of pants or shirt that he or she would look bomb as fuck in, pop them bands. You see a strap-on that you think you want to try out with her, maybe ask her before you actually do that, because maybe just to make sure that she's into it. But if she is, my point is, no one likes it when you don't occasionally buy them stuff or like occasionally treat them out to things. It's not shallow, it's just kind of like, you know, you get me one, I get you one. Alrighty. Honesty? Yeah, honesty. Not a whole lot to say about this one. Kind of, you know, 3 different writing styles. Don't lie, and oh, look at that. Don't lie. So what I mean is, don't lie. Don't fucking lie. If you end up lying, you're gonna end up with a much bigger problem than you originally thought you were gonna have if you had just told the truth, and probably thought you could avoid if you lied. But since you lied, you now have a much bigger problem on your hands than you ever intended to. Get it, got it good? Get it, got it good? Trust and listening. I grouped these together because I believe that more often than not, these things should go hand in hand. When someone trusts you, you should give that your utmost respect. This is one of the things that you definitely should not take for granted. Not everyone is going to hear the same version of a story, or as a matter of fact, probably the story in the first place. Not everyone's going to get that call at like 10:30 at night because they need gas and they need you to save them because they forgot to get some earlier. So don't complain that they're needy. They see you as someone that they can trust and count on. And not everybody has that in their lives. Trust is earned, and it takes a lot of time to build. You fuck up once, and you may never get the chance to repair the damage that you have already done. Listening goes further than just, hearing what the other person has to say. You actually have to pay attention to what they're saying. And sometimes when somebody is venting or just talking to you, they're not necessarily looking for you to fix or give your opinion on the situation. They're probably more after the fact that you are there to just listen to them, and that's what you're there for. You're just a shoulder to lean on so that you can hear them get what they need to get off their chest. And that's helpful. It's healthy. No matter how big or small the topic is that they're talking to you about, you have to give it the utmost respect to whatever it is that they're talking about, because it may not be important to you, but it's definitely important to them. And that's the point.
Okay, here's one I thought I'd take to the grave.
Okay.
A while back, YouTube changed its user interface from a star-based rating system to a thumbs-up rating system. I tell people I'm okay with it, but I'm really not.
Okay, you know what? I give up. I'm going to bed.
Here's something else you don't know about me. You just hurt my feelings.
What did I do?
I opened up and shared something deeply upsetting to me, and you treated it as if it were nothing.
I didn't think it was a big deal.
It is to me. That's the point.
Sheldon, you are right. I'm really sorry. I should have known better.
Your apology is accepted.
Thank you. How about a hug?
How about a hearty handshake?
Come on.
Pride. Don't let it get in the way. I'm not saying give up your integrity if you're logically in the right, but I'm saying that if you made a mistake and your pride is getting in the way of allowing you to own up to that mistake, well, don't do that. You best check that ego at the door, because if somebody is calling you out on your mistakes and you can't seem to get it through your thick skull that you fucked up and you won't admit to it and or apologize, well, sir, not a whole lot of people, or ma'am, not a whole lot of people are going to put up with that bullshit, but some of them do, because they give a shit about you and they care to see you accept your fault and own up to it, apologize for it, etc., etc. People know their worth, and eventually they're going to stop putting up with that. So you better swallow that pride and act like you like it. Even though it may taste like week old tuna from Subway, you best act like you like it. Your pride isn't worth keeping if it means losing something of a much greater value. To recap, we got expressing yourself. You gotta let them know how you feel. You gotta show them how you feel and get creative with that. Communication, again, letting them know how you feel, what you're feeling. If you take any offense to anything, you gotta voice those opinions. Comfortability, don't fall into a routine of things. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that every now and then, do something new, learn a new skill, step out of your comfort zone a little bit. It'll strengthen that relationship, it'll strengthen you as a person, and you get to get out of the house more often than you probably would have if you didn't. PDA, and what really is there to say other than get it? Who cares if you're in public? You guys like each other. Hopefully you can't keep your hands off of each other, actually. Don't be cheap. You know, cover the bill every now and then. Split the cost. Do whatever you gotta do. And maybe splurge a little bit at Kmart when it comes to those special occasions. Honesty. Don't fucking lie. Trust and listening. Trust takes a while to build. Take a second to destroy it. Listening. Respect what they gotta say, no matter how little or how much it means to you. If it's important to them, respect what they have to say. Pride. Swallow that and like it. Alright, don't let it get in the way. It's stupid. On a more serious note, I know that I have presented these very original and inspired ideas to you in a light and comedic way. Everything I have said is with the highest sincerity. Everything that I've said is from personal experience. Actually, this video is probably more for me than anything else. Now, if it helps you wise up a lot faster than I did, then more power to you, and it's good for you. So to you, Greg, I say, listen and learn from what I'm telling you and what I haven't and have done. Be a better person.